Planes from Israel have taken off hours ago, heading towards Syria, towards Iraq, in what seems to be the possible beginning of the operation at any moment. Epic Fury Round 2. Right now, there are also warships from Pakistan in the Strait of Hormuz and a few other ships that have managed to slip through. The blockade of Iran and the news coming from everywhere. Family, your likes, your comments. Let's get started. Family, good evening. Planes are taking off. Planes usually take off. That's what planes are for. So let's get started. Welcome to Estrategias Militares. We've been here for a few hours since we finished the last live stream. Many things have happened. Many things are happening. We're going to see them live here on Estrategias Militares. Planes that have taken off, rather suspicious flight routes, attack vectors. Let's call it that, plain and simple. A cruiser that has crossed the Strait of Hormuz, warships from Pakistan, Iran claiming to have attacked United States warships with drones. This has happened since the last show. Since the last show until now, this has happened. So keep it in mind right now. Keep that in mind right now. Welcome. If you like the content, please, your likes, your comments, PayPal.me Estrategias Militares. Please support the channel as much as you can. Because they are trying to censor us. They have declared war on us. Media, outlets, organizations. Let's call them humanitarian, but I think they are organized crime organizations. And it's happening right now. It's happening right now, and we're going to go straight to it because there's no clickbait here. There's no story behind all of this. It is what it is. And I want to show you the image right now. Tanker planes. Tanker planes are currently taking off from Israel. Aviones. Look here. Planes have been taking off from Israel. This KC-46A Pegasus, the flight path you see here, heading north, entering Syrian airspace. Going up to northern Syria, east of Homs, crossing very close to central Syria. Entering Iraqi airspace. Arriving at the area we see here, the Iraqi Kurdistan region, northern Iraq, just a few kilometers from the border with Iran. In this area we see here, near Lake Umia, there have been several planes. The news is clear. For hours, you could already hear the planes taking off. And what does all this mean? Well, I think the first thing we should do is play it back to start understanding what all this about the planes taking off is about. And what is this story about? This was the moment, 8 p.m. The tankers were taking off from Ben Gurion Airport. Let's play it slowly here. Don't let it go too fast. You already know that Ben Gurion Airport is a hub right now, destinado for air operations. This Pegasus is very new, 5 years old, one of the newest in the fleet. Code
QX-07. Taking off together with fighter jets from other areas. It wasn't the only one. A second tanker followed it soon after. Here we see it. One is 5-6 years old, another is 62 years old. A huge age difference. It's interesting because at this point, this is exactly where the F-15 air base is in Jordan. You can see how the electronic warfare situation is around here. Notice here how there's electronic jamming to prevent drone attacks. And the tanker vanishes then. At that moment, it disappears. The other tanker, interestingly, takes off and follows a somewhat similar pattern. Not the same, but similar. Let's speed up here. It takes the same route at that point. We're on the border between Jordan and Syria. Very close to the border. That's where the transponder cuts off. That's where they cut it. And what happens next, we'll see in a little while. Shortly after, they disappear, enter the dark zone, and show up here. 07 appears just as it has crossed Syrian airspace. And take a look at the strategy. Stop there. The airspace would be around here by now. This plane had shown us that it was heading south at the last ping within Jordanian airspace. In fact, what it did was descend to make a full turn upward, accompanied by fighter jets from Israel and the United States of America, to cross the entire airspace. From Syria and enter Iraq. Now we are in Iraq. Direct mode, no flight, changes. So that flight over there at 6,738 meters altitude is refueling. It maintains its course completely and its altitude during that time. In fact, we're going to see it over here. Let's take a look. Notice how it maintains its altitude. Second, since you're not seeing it clearly. You can see how it maintains its speed from this section to this section. Over 6,378 meters. After that, it continues like that for a little while longer. There's a variation of speeds here. It climbs to 8,000 meters and then goes back down. Let's take a look at it. It keeps heading due east. 9:46 at night. We're watching the flight of the Air Force heading to the border with Iran. It goes this way. Imagine this plane surrounded by fighter jets along with another tanker plane that at some point also shows up somewhere along the way. Zero 07. At that point, 07 on highway number 1, your transponder will cut out. It cuts out, turns off. Near the area with Erbil, in the north of Iraq. At that moment, we don't know what's happening there anymore, whether they're moving forward, whether they've entered Iranian airspace or not. But let's see what else happens. What other things occur during that time when we have no visibility and nobody really knows what's happening or what's going on? With those planes, where did they go? Why did they go there? What was the plan? Are they there right now? Are they orbiting, waiting to launch an attack against Iran right now? Or is it a training mission to rehearse the route to Tehran? It could be all those things at once. It could happen at any moment. Let's let a little time pass. 10:30. At that time, we still had no contact with any tanker aircraft, which indicates to us that this is a military operation. Yes, a tanker does appear right here below. One that had been in the southern area, as we had mentioned. We still don't know where 07 is. 07 still hasn't appeared. He doesn't show up. We're already at 10:46 with a C-17 plane in the northern area of Jordan, landing at the base with the F-15s, and that's exactly where he appears. That's exactly where the plane in between shows up. It's not 07, or maybe it is 07. Let's take the registration number of this plane. We'll mark it down. The registration number of this plane is 46/8. It could be 07. It could be our plane 07. Let's go back. Just when we were looking for this plane. Serial number. Well, it's not. It's not. It's not 07. 07 has a serial number 1,846,054. So now we know that there are two tankers operating at that moment. Let's move forward again. At the time, we were talking about 10 at night. What I mean by this is public information. It's in the public domain. Anyone can see it. Iran can see it. Anyone can, yes, analyze it. So please, no comments like you're putting anything in danger or similar nonsense. Comments from people who know nothing, but I know they mean well, but it doesn't make sense. What do we have here? Well, the 07 plane was the one we were just looking at, and its route also cuts off at the same spot. The plane's identification system. It cuts off. That they also hang out for a while in the area around Syria. Above Syrian airspace, see here, now heading south. With a lot of GPS interference, the information isn't completely clear. Yeah, completely clear. It's heading that way toward the south, from the east of Damascus, southwest of Damascus. Crecimiento. It's heading back, maybe returning from resupplying. Let's look for it around here. There it is. It's entering Jordanian airspace. AA, and it's going to come back. AA. And good. But what about 07? Where is plane 07? Well, Look, here's another one. Here comes our friend 07. Serial number 1,846,048. 07 was also coming back at that same moment. Let's continue. So a first wave of planes had been taken to that area. It's important to note today, so pay attention, because the roles have changed. The United States Air Force has made a change. The plane that was 07 is no longer 07. It came back and passed the call sign to this one here. Serial number 1846054. But how can that be? Over Syrian airspace, not even coming back. We have to investigate this. We have to investigate it because we have different codes. Two planes, but then it seems like they switch. Let's go back. All right, we'll take note of that. 054 is 07 when it takes off. Let's put 054 here, because this can be complicated sometimes. It's 07. 62. The next one to take off is 622. For fun. 623,557. We have that one right there. We're looking at this area right here. We're back to the area from around 8 p.m. more or less. 8 p.m. It's the area where we return. We arrived at the 07's takeoff. And let's see what happens next. (6257). He also takes the same course. This is a stratotanker, heading toward what we were seeing a few minutes ago. All right. Let's take another look, because there's something here that doesn't add up for me. It shows 07 there. It still has 54 as the registration number, so it's the same plane. There's no dispute there, or at least we're not disputing it. The plane reaches the point where it turns off the transponder at 9:52. There it is. At that moment, the transponder turns off. Okay. We have 9:52 as the time when they go dark again, and we don't know anything. It's past 10 at night. We still have no contact at all. 10:30. We still have no contact. A tanker is showing up down here. This was 07. 07, which was in an intermediate area, acting as a link. Es todo. He returns to Ben Gurion. And here it appears at 16 past. 048 appears. 048 was the second plane to take off after 07. He had been there with 07, up there, in Iraq. It heads back. Writing down numbers definitely makes things clearer. And let's go back here for a second. 48. We're still seeing 048. Zero 48 is still there. At that moment, another tanker plane was taking off from Ben Gurion, but that one is heading to the Mediterranean to pick someone up, to bring him back. He had been waiting for 048 for a long time in this area. He spends his time waiting for a bunch of aircraft to refuel them before they arrive at the base. And right there, look, at 121, it's still there, or 0.7 is still there. Here we are back, family. That means that plane arrived there at 9:20, and it's 1:29, and the plane is still in the operations area. The plane is still there in the operations area. 1:30. It now looks like it's heading back. We're seeing it here. It leaves the area and will go. When it reaches this point, it will already be in Jordan. Two in the morning. 7. It's not this one. This one is 0.48. This is called 0.48. It's still there waiting. Tanker planes keep coming back. And there it is. This is now in real time. Of course, it's because we still have the 0.48 that's there as a relay. Now we have this one that just took off, which is 80.18. And we have 0.7 on approach to the airport to land. Juan, from 10 p.m. until now. Juan. An important operation has been carried out and is still ongoing. Look here, another one just appeared. See? This is happening right now. Thoughts on this? In my opinion, it's about putting on pressure. No, I don't understand your comment over there. There are a dozen Pegasus planes. There are many. The United States has the largest fleet of tanker planes in the world. But we're here with the registration numbers. I'll show each plane here. Every plane has a registration number, which I'm marking in the image. Este es 018. This one is 048. 07 has 054. I mean, it's not like every plane is the same. There are no identical planes. I don't understand your comments, but please. We know a little about this. All right, we've already been here for a couple of years. I don't want to say it too much, but we know the basic stuff at least. We know. That's my opinion. I think they're putting pressure on him. I think they just did a mock attack. 24 hours before this starts. They used dawn. Again. Now it would be in that area. Now, right now, they'll find out. Since this morning. I think we're witnessing a drill carried out by the Israeli Air Force together with the United States, launching another attack on an area in Iran. Specifically, it must have been the entry area. Gracias. Towards the interior, towards Tabriz and all this area here, because this area here. Thank you. Iran may have recovered more than 60% of its missile launchers. It could now be at 70% of its pre-war attack capacity. If an attack is launched against Iran again, you basically have to start from scratch to destroy launchers and seal the mountain tunnels of the missile silos again. If that happens, this route, this vector we're seeing, is the ideal vector for, and we're going to see it here now on this much more detailed map, for places, for example, Umia, this place we see here, where there is a mega missile facility. They dried up the lake to build it. This lake is dry because they have built the missile facilities here underground beneath this great mountain. We can see the bunkers here, this whole area here. They have dug all this up and prepared it again to launch attacks against Israel. Look here, this whole area ready to set up the launchers there. There we see silos, we see exits, we see more silos over here, ready. And they'll be ready again. And we see all this infrastructure of a mega facility, a giant missile mountain. Lake Umia. These lakes, which was a true water paradise, has been dried up to use the drills to build that kind of construction, that kind of tunnel. It's not the only place. There are other places in that area too, with other scattered facilities and some tunnels. They also have tunnels inside here, in the central area of Urmia. And of course, this is on the way to Tabriz. I mean, Urmia is on the way to Tabriz. It's an intermediate area. In Tabriz, they've probably reopened the missile facilities again over the last 2 weeks. They've had time to prepare again, to get everything ready, to be operational again, and able to launch attacks against Israel. And this seems like starting all over again. At least that's the feeling I get, or that's the impression all of this gives me. Tabriz has 3 military launch zones. This is one of them. The one we see around here is one of them. Here's another one as well. This is the intermediate area of that facility with hidden tunnels. And then it has another area, Tabriz, a little farther away, where that kind of facility is also built, those kinds of places to launch missile attacks. Here, in this area. This one we see here is another of the mega missile facilities in Tabriz, where the Iranians have, among other things, automatic launch systems from silos. In a carousel. All of that is inside. We can see it over here. This whole area that we're seeing here, underground facilities. Very well defended. Here we can see that these are the silo doors. What we're seeing here opens up and lets the missiles out. They're sliding doors. It has a triple launch system. That means 6 missiles can be launched at the same time in salvos. And it's very hard to destroy. Very, very hard to destroy. It's a facility that's also very deep underground, almost at ground level, but they dug straight into the ground instead of into a large mountain and built everything there. This place was clearly attacked. The entrances were blocked, the exits were blocked, but now Iran has used heavy machinery to open them so that it is now available and they can reuse it at any time as needed. What we just saw tonight and what we are seeing right now is, without a doubt, the approach vector to cross into airspace. Where would this be? Coming back to this area again, it will be down the south of Turkey because this is where the 3 borders meet: Iraq, Turkey, Iran. This area here that we're looking at. It's a rugged entry area for planes, which means fighter jets can come in at low altitude. The Zagros Mountains in that region. Go through this area here, attack the Umia facility, which is here, seal it up again in a couple of hours. Then proceed to Tabriz and attack the city. From the Tabriz area, or this area we see here, is where most of the missiles have been launched from during the war, or from the places where the most missiles have been launched from that area during the 40-day war. Because from there, from those launch areas, we could see on the cameras how the missiles were heading toward central Israel. So we also knew from the trail it was leaving the alerts and the places where that missile could fall. When they passed through the Jenin area, through the Nablus area, through the northern area of Tel Aviv, all this area, Kfar Saba, and so on, Petah Tikva. Also, all this area, Ben Gurion Airport, can be attacked from there. It has a range of 1,200 kilometers. For a missile like the Kaibar Shekam, which is the one they use the most, and the Gather 110 with cluster munitions. What we're seeing now makes sense. So we have to be very alert, because I think they just carried out a training operation. Let's go over there, do a mock attack, and come back. Mainly to gem radars and so on. What else do we have? Well, the United States of America has sent, believe it or not, more F-18 Growler planes to the area of operations. More electronic warfare planes are arriving to improve capabilities in case Iran managed to bring out any anti-air defenses they had buried. The Growlers are going to take care of suppressing the defenses and opening the gap, the Iran, to clear the way so that Israel and the United States can fly over Iranian airspace without trouble. The Iran. Planes brought in from the United States of America that are joining the operations again. Operations are currently underway. And now we are here. We leave the skies and head to the sea. Who gets dizzy in the air also gets dizzy at sea. Look. We were talking about Artman in the previous live stream. This ship was about to break the blockade. the United States Navy has given instructions to this Iranian flag ship. We can see it here. Its journey is very close to the coast to be protected by Iran's drone defense in case any kind of assault is launched. Armand was given the order before crossing the maritime border between Pakistan and Iran to turn around and go to Chabahar. That's where he's arriving right now. And where he is. Tosca. We still don't know where Tosca is. Tosca. And be careful with Tosca, because we've gone 12 hours without knowing where that ship is, which is currently in the hands of the United States of America, and we have new information about it. What you're hearing. The assault on the Tosca ship doesn't seem to be a coincidence. The ship decided not to stop. It was coming from Malaysia, but it had previously passed through China. It made a stop to throw people off. There are intelligence estimates about that ship. Be careful, because it's no coincidence that the United States boarded it and now they're searching it. It was coming from China. The cargo originally came from China. What were the Chinese sending on Tosca? Why didn't he want to stop? How valuable is his cargo? The Tosca is owned by an Iranian company that the United States has accused of acquiring material for Tehran's ballistic missile program. It is part of Iran's shipping line, a state-owned company subject to sanctions by the United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, which has been described by the US State Department as the preferred shipping line for Iranian proliferation and procurement agents. The Tosca, which can carry up to 4,820-foot containers, was returning from a chemical storage port in China, loaded with goods. According to ICE data provided by the intelligence company Global Klappler, the port of Gaolam is located in Zhuhai, a city on the southwest coast of China. Experts previously told the Washington Post that it is a well-known cargo port for chemicals, including perchlorate, which is a well-known port for a key chemical used in solid rocket fuel that Iran needs for its missile program. It's unclear what materials were on the ship during the assault. ICE data shows that the ship was apparently intercepted 30 miles south of the coast of Iran. Pues vaya. Químicos, a well-known port for chemicals. They show it was intercepted south of Iran. Vamos a ver si esto le hace gracia a Donald Trump. No parece ser que le haga mucha gracia. And it doesn't seem like Donald Trump is very pleased that a ship with goods from China was sent to Iran. That's why they refused to change course. Because they knew that if that ship didn't arrive, no fuel or something else, some kind of weapon, would get to Iran. Could they have sent anti-aircraft missiles? Could there be weapons on that ship? Yes. Nero. The oil tanker Nova Crest. Right now, crossing Hormuz. With authorization from Iran. Which port is it coming from? From a port. Iraqi. It carries the Iraqi crew. But you know, Iran and Iraq are collaborating on this. In theory, that tanker should be allowed through because it doesn't come from an Iranian ship or port, but it has paid a toll. And if it pays a toll, it doesn't leave. Let's see what's going to happen now. What's going to happen? Where is it going? What is its destination port, or what is believed to be its destination port? It's to the south of Oman, to the south of the United Arab Emirates, southeast of the United. Let's see, gentlemen, how you handle that situation. There's something else striking. A while ago, although you can't see it here because we can't see it. Ah, yes, we're going to see it here. At this moment, while we're talking, 7 hours ago, Aroya, a cruise ship, also crossed. It turned off its IE system when it was in the most dangerous area. It turned and may already be out of danger. But there's another disturbing fact in this area, or in this. Pakistan has sent warships to the Strait of Hormuz. At least 2 warships in the area of the Strait of Hormuz. From Pakistan. For what purpose? Will they guarantee their ships will pass? That the United States won't stop the blockade? Well, 2 warships from Pakistan. Ship 3 and Ship 4 in the operations area. It's strange because it also appears with the Armenian flag. All of this is very strange. When we enter the serial code, the MMSA, it's 9 digits. The first one shows up as an Italian ship, and the second as a ship registered in Turkey. Could there be a ship that's changing the ISIE system to bypass the blockade, to appear as a warship from Pakistan? Could they be trying to cause confusion? It could be. That's also a possibility. It's obvious. It's very obvious that something is going on. In fact, during this time, and while we're talking right now, you already know that this isn't really my thing, posting restaurant activity near the Pentagon, because I don't think it's very significant, although sometimes it is. But we're seeing it here. How are the pizzerias near the Pentagon doing? Well, there are at least 2 businesses, ones that have 227% and 213% more than normal at this time. Which means that the Pentagon is currently at full capacity. Or should it be that way? Do people think that could be the case? And Iran says it has attacked and will attack ships in response to the United States of America. Attention, we're receiving a video right now. Ukrainian drone attack on Russia. Apocalyptic images. Pay attention to the video that's coming up now. Russia. And from Russia, we're heading to the Caribbean Sea. Another narco-terrorist boat sunk. US Southern Command just took down another one. And Cuba is warming up. How is everything right now? Right now, everything is absolutely crazy, and we're experiencing it live right now. Family, let's check your super chat, your comments. Let's see what people are saying here. Thank you to everyone who is in Spain. Being awake with us, doing this work, you already know, 24 hours a day. Estrategias militares can open at any moment. Right now, it's 4:57 in Spain. We are live. Hours, unexpected. Let's check the comments and see what the Estrategias Militares community is saying in the super chat. All of this. I think so. We're almost there. We could say with 90% certainty that it's a military operation. Something that Iran surrenders completely. And says, well, this is where we stop. And let's see what happens. But I don't think so. I think the week is going to start strong. The price of oil is already going up again. And I think we're going to see a tough situation. Let's go to your questions through the super chat. Comments also from the chat. Teodoro, thank you very much. Sara, thank you. Manolo, thank you. Strategies. Congratulations on the great work you're doing. Greetings to my friend from Chile. A hug for Chile. By the way, good news. And now let's talk about Argentina. Now that we're discussing that area of the southern hemisphere, Israel has already launched a direct flight from Argentina to Israel. Mariana, greetings to all the Estrategias Militares crew from Mexico City. Thank you. Juan Carlos, thanks. Martin, welcome. Hector, greetings to the family and the Estrategias moderators. Best likes. Thank you. Estrategias, I commend you for an excellent program and news reporting. We try to make it easy so that people can understand it without getting into technicalities and things that there are other channels that are for military and technical things. We don't try to make it so that people, no matter their level of knowledge, background, or what they know about life, can understand it. So we try to make it easy. Manolo, strength and strategy. If we all stand firm in chat, we outnumber them. They want to censor us. Let's start. An electrician comes to give us light. Thanks, my friend. What did Iran say about the ship that was hit today? They claim it was attacked. Pegan, they say it has been attacked. Well, Iran has basically said. I think we have it around here. Yes, we have it around here. Let's take a look at it. Katanga, Alambilla, the headquarters of the Navy, says, the aggressor against America has violated the maritime ceasefire with acts of piracy. He has opened fire on an Iranian merchant ship in the waters of the Sea of Oman. He disconnected his navigation systems. He has cut off contact with this ship. This is maritime terrorism. And there are terrorists in the ship's bridge. The armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran will soon respond and take revenge for this act of piracy by the United States military. People have also been saying that they launched drones at a destroyer. Tasnim News has said, and this is super interesting, Iran believes that this ceasefire thing and now sending a delegation to negotiate is a distraction strategy. They believe that an attack could happen at any moment, an attack could occur at any minute, and that Iran is fully prepared. That this time they won't take the bait, and that this time they will be prepared for that attack, that it's about to come and about to happen. That's what it says. Thank you. And what we heard today is still ongoing. Please. It's all stations, all stations.
This is Bravo. This is Bravo.
Bravo for Sierra.
Bravo signing off. 4.
Alpha.
11.
15.
8. 36, 37. There's also another radio station that's sending this broadcast on 38. Sifiman.
657, 58.
62. 8.992 to 8.995. 60, 61, 62. They're saying something to each other. Something's happening, they're talking to each other. And something is happening. I think it's coming. Se identifica good info. 67, 68, 69. Knox, welcome. Gentlemen, it's coming. 71, 74, 77, 79, 81, 82, 93, 83, 84, 85, 86, 89, 90, 92, 93.
Fisher, Besenda,
20, 22. Strategy, things went south. What's up? Greetings from Tecate, Mexico on military strategy. You're the best news show. Come on, Plácido. Some people do it even better. We don't want to be the best. We want to be estrategia militares. That's enough for us. Being ourselves is the best way to see things. Today, Iran, I'm coming back to this. Hoy, the video we posted today. This one is a bit of a summary of the day or of this week. This video has old footage and new footage. All right? There is old footage. This is Musavi. And others that are new. Therefore, it's a propaganda video. We have to understand that. We really don't know whether Iran has the capability to open its bases or not. We don't know. We're not aware of all this. But they possibly already have a significant number of missiles. Very significant. So, Israel may also be expecting an attack at any moment. And that it might happen. It could be. Within hours. It could happen within hours. We're going to realize this. It can happen at any moment. Let's go with more comments in the chat while we look for new headlines. Because things are happening. A lot of things are happening that we don't even realize. Operation Economic Fury has been underway for more than 5 days. Iran is losing 438 million a day. Iran can only sustain this for 30 days. So the United States can extend it a little longer to leave them without money. Right now, what Iran wants is money. And after 30 days, they won't have money to survive. Value of crude oil. How is it right now? The market closed. Because it was Friday. It has opened today, I think. I think we're at $95 right now. We've gone past $85. Even less. To $95 and rising. It's heating up. Everything is heating up now. And how? This is important. And we think that in the next 48 hours, fighting could resume. It's possible. In fact, Bibi has canceled her meeting with the court. His testimony, the weekly testimony he has to give. Bibi is involved in a trial during wartime. No more, no less. During wartime, Bibi has to go to trial. Does he have anything better to do than be Israel's president? That besides orchestrating Khamenei's assassination, he has to go to trial for some cigars, some bottles of champagne, and I don't know what else. As if Bibi couldn't buy himself a box of cigars. We don't know. Maybe Netanyahu has enough money to buy himself some cigars. It's a matter of stupidity.
And the story they want to force on everyone.
This is what we have, family.
So let's get some rest. Let's get more information. Let's see what else happens. We'll be in touch. If anything happens, we'll go live. Subscribe and hit the bell.